There's a moment in every woman's life when she looks in the mirror and asks herself, who am I really? Not who the world says she should be, not who she's expected to be, but who she chooses to become. That moment, right there, is where power begins. And that's what this is about. The one skill every woman must learn in her life, the skill of owning herself, owning her voice, owning her worth, owning her story. Because the truth is, no one hands you power, you take it. You build it, you become it. So let's talk about what that really means. 6 lessons that will change the way you walk through this world. There's a moment in every woman's life when she looks in the mirror and feels that quiet stirring inside. The voice that whispers, there's more to me than this. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, but it's powerful. It's the sound of your own truth calling you home. That voice inside you is ancient, instinctive, and deeply personal. It knows what's right for you long before logic can explain it. It knows when something feels off, even if everyone around you insists it's fine. Yet so often, we bury that voice under noise, expectations, fear, doubt, other people's opinions. We silence it because we've been taught to trust everything but ourselves. But the truth is, your intuition is not fragile, it's fierce. It's the original GPS for your life. Learning to trust that inner voice is not just a skill, it's an act of revolution. Think about how the world conditions women from the start. We're told to be nice, to be agreeable, to not make waves. We're taught to seek permission before making moves. And when that instinct inside us says, this isn't right, this isn't me, we override it. We smile instead. We say yes when our entire body screams no. We settle for less because we fear being called difficult, emotional, dramatic. But here's the truth. Every time you silence your intuition, you abandon yourself. Every time you listen to others instead of yourself, you dilute your power. And that is how women lose their fire. Not because someone took it away, but because they were taught to doubt its existence. Reclaiming that fire starts with tuning back in. Listening, even when it's uncomfortable. The inner voice doesn't always speak softly. Sometimes it roars. Sometimes it says, leave that job, end that relationship, start over. It doesn't always tell you what's easy. It tells you what's a true. And that's why so many people run from it. Because following your intuition requires courage. It means walking away from things that look good on paper, but feel wrong in your soul. It means choosing alignment over approval. But once you start trusting it, once you realize it's never led you astray, you begin to live with a power that no one can take from you. Every woman has a story where her intuition tried to save her. Maybe it was that uneasy feeling about a person that turned out to be right. Maybe it was that sudden push to apply for a job you thought was out of reach, and it changed everything. Or maybe it was the quiet knowing that you deserved better, even when your heart didn't want to believe it. That's intuition at work. It's not magic. It's self-awareness wrapped in instinct. And the more you honor it, the louder it becomes. You stop needing endless advice. You stop overanalyzing, and you start living from a place of certainty. Because when you trust yourself, you no longer chase clarity. you create it. But trusting your inner voice doesn't mean rejecting all logic. It's about balance, intuition and intellect, feeling and fact. When your heart and mind work together, you become unstoppable. You stop questioning every decision and start moving with conviction. People will sense it. You'll walk into rooms differently. You'll speak differently. There's something magnetic about a woman who's in tune with herself. She doesn't ask if she belongs. She knows she does. And that knowing changes everything. From the way she leads, to the way she loves, to the way she stands tall, even when the ground beneath her shakes. Here's the secret most people never tell you. No one knows what's best for you better than you. The job of your intuition is not to make life easier. It's to make life authentic. And authenticity is the birthplace of true power. When you trust that inner voice, you stop existing on autopilot and start living on purpose. You become the kind of woman who walks into uncertainty and says, I may not have all the answers, but I trust myself enough to find them. And that, right there, is freedom. So listen to that voice. Protect it. Nurture it. Let it guide you toward the life that feels like yours, not the one that looks perfect to others. Because the moment a woman learns to trust herself, she stops being defined by the world around her and starts defining it herself. That is where true power begins. Sivir, we grow up in a world that teaches women to say yes. Yes to opportunities, yes to requests, yes to expectations, even when every fiber of our being screams, no. We're told that being agreeable makes us likable, that accommodating others makes us kind, that self-sacrifice is noble. But here's the truth most of us learn the hard way. Saying yes to everything is the fastest way to lose yourself. Every yes that goes against your peace chips away at your power. It teaches people how little you value your own boundaries. It drains your energy, silences your needs, and leaves you carrying burdens that were never yours to hold. The word no is small, but it's sacred. It's not defiance, it's self-respect. For so long, women have been conditioned to see no as a negative. To say it feels rude, to say it feels selfish, to say it feels like rejection. But no is not a wall, it's a filter. It separates what serves you from what drains you. It's the line between survival and burnout, between existing and truly living. Saying no is not about shutting people out. It's about protecting the energy that keeps you alive. Because the truth is, not everything deserves your time. Not everyone deserves your access. And not every opportunity is meant for you. Sometimes the most powerful move you can make is stepping back and saying, this doesn't align with who I am right now. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. And yet, the guilt that follows can feel unbearable. You say no to a friend and feel like a bad person. You say no at work and fear you'll be seen as uncooperative. You say no to your family and feel selfish. But guilt is not always a sign that you've done something wrong. It's often a sign that you're breaking a pattern that never served you. You've spent so much of your life pleasing others that choosing yourself feels foreign. That discomfort you feel, it's not guilt, it's growth. You're learning to replace the need for approval with the need for peace. And peace is priceless. When you start saying no, people will notice. Some will resist it because they've benefited from your lack of boundaries. They'll call you difficult, distant, or changed. And that's okay. You are changed. You're evolving from the woman who overextends herself to the woman who honors herself. You're teaching the world that your kindness has limits, that your time has value, and that your energy is not an open invitation. The people who truly respect you will adapt. The ones who don't were never for you to begin with. Boundaries don't ruin relationships. They reveal them. Saying no doesn't make you less generous, less loving, or less ambitious. It makes you intentional. It means you've reached a level of self-awareness where you understand that your energy is not infinite. It means you've realized that constantly saying yes to others leaves no room for your own dreams. The irony is that when you learn to say no with confidence, your yes becomes more powerful because it's no longer forced. It's honest. It comes from choice, not obligation. That's what makes it meaningful. Your no protects your yes. And that's how you build a life filled not with noise, but with purpose. There's freedom in knowing that you don't owe anyone your constant availability. You don't owe explanations for your boundaries. You don't owe apologies for choosing yourself. Every woman has the right to preserve her energy for what truly matters. To invest her time where her heart feels alive. Because life isn't about doing everything for everyone. It's about doing what's right for you. And when you finally learn to say no without guilt, something beautiful happens. You stop chasing balance and start living it. So say no. Say it with grace, with confidence, with conviction. Say it when your soul says stop. Because every no that honors your truth is a yes to your peace, your growth, your power. The woman who learns to say no without guilt doesn't just protect her life. She transforms it. There comes a time in every woman's life when she faces something that shatters her, a loss that breaks her heart, a failure that crushes her confidence, a betrayal that makes her question everything she believed in. And in those moments, it feels like the world has stopped spinning. The walls close in, the noise fades, and all you can hear is the sound of your own doubt whispering, maybe I'm not strong enough to survive this. But here's the truth, you are. You were built for this. Pain may have knocked the wind out of you, but it cannot take away your breath forever. You will rise. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day, that same pain will become the reason you walk taller, speak louder, and live freer than ever before. The thing about being broken is that it strips away the noise. When everything falls apart, you're left with your rawest self. No masks, no pretenses, no expectations. It's painful, but it's pure. You start to see who you really are beneath the roles, beneath the labels, beneath what the world told you to be. And that's where strength begins. Not in perfection, but in vulnerability. When you stop hiding your cracks and start embracing them, you realize they're not signs of weakness. They're proof that you've lived, that you've fought, that you've endured. Scars don't make you damaged, they make you real. And real is powerful. We often think resilience means never breaking, but that's not true. Real resilience is breaking open and finding the courage to rebuild yourself anyway. It's waking up after being knocked down 100 times and deciding to stand again, even when your knees still shake. It's forgiving yourself for the times you couldn't be strong and loving yourself enough to try again. Every woman who has ever fallen and gotten back up carries a quiet kind of magic. A strength born not from what she's avoided, but from what she's survived. You don't become fearless by avoiding pain. You become fearless by facing it, learning from it, and turning it into fuel. When you rise after being broken, something shifts inside you. You stop chasing validation because you've seen what it's like to lose everything and still be enough. You stop needing others to believe in you because you've proven that you can stand alone. You stop apologizing for your scars because you understand they are not ugly. They are evidence of your transformation. The woman who has been to rock bottom walks through the world differently. She's grounded, she's unshakable, and her presence speaks louder than any words ever could. You can't fake that kind of strength. It's forged in silence, in solitude, in the sacred process of healing yourself when no one else can. There will be moments when you want to give up, when it hurts too much to move forward, and the light at the end of the tunnel feels too far away. But healing is not a straight line. It's a journey of returning to yourself. Some days you'll take giant leaps. Other days you'll crawl, and both are progress. Don't rush the process. Let your heart rebuild at its own pace. Because every time you choose to keep going, no matter how heavy it feels, you are rewriting your story. You're telling the universe, I may have been broken, but I will not stay broken. You're proving that your spirit is far stronger than any storm you'll ever face. And when you finally rise, when you look back and see how far you've come, you'll realize that the pain didn't destroy you. It transformed you. It taught you empathy, compassion, and courage. It showed you what really matters. It helped you understand that healing isn't about becoming who you were before. It's about becoming someone entirely new. Someone wiser, softer, stronger. Because sometimes the most beautiful version of you emerges after the deepest heartbreak. And that version of you, the one who refused to give up, is unstoppable. So rise. Rise from the ashes of what tried to break you. Rise with your scars, your lessons, your power. Because the woman who learns to rebuild herself after being broken doesn't just survive. She becomes a force the world can never silence again. We live in a world that loves to tell women what success should look like. It tells us to climb higher, work harder, look perfect, stay small, and never stop smiling while doing it. From the moment we're old enough to dream, we're handed a checklist: get the degree, land the job, find the partner, build the family, make it all look effortless. And when we finally achieve it all, there's a moment of silence, a pause, a whisper inside that says, "Is this it?" That voice isn't ungrateful, it's honest. Because true success isn't found in ticking society's boxes. It's found in answering your soul's calling. The kind of success that fulfills you doesn't need applause. It needs alignment. It's about living a life that feels right, not just one that looks right. So many women chase success that belongs to someone else. We wear achievements like armor, hoping they'll protect us from self-doubt. We measure our worth in promotions, followers, or validation from people who barely know us. But no amount of external recognition can fill the emptiness that comes from living out of alignment with who you truly are. Because success without fulfillment is just noise. You can have everything the world celebrates and still feel unseen, unheard, and disconnected. That's why defining success on your own terms isn't just a mindset. It's a survival skill. It's about reclaiming your narrative and saying, I refuse to let the world decide what my life should mean. Defining success for yourself means getting radically honest about what makes you feel alive. Maybe it's running a business, maybe it's raising a family, maybe it's painting in your studio or traveling the world alone. Whatever it is, it's yours. The moment you stop comparing your journey to someone else's, peace enters your life like oxygen. Because comparison is the thief of joy, and women have spent far too long suffocating under its weight. Your success doesn't have to be loud to be powerful. It doesn't have to be public to be real. Sometimes success is waking up and feeling calm. Sometimes it's walking away from what doesn't serve you. Sometimes it's simply being proud of the woman you've become. And here's the truth. Redefining success takes courage. Because when you stop chasing what everyone else wants, people will question you. They'll ask, why would you leave that job? Why aren't you married yet? Why don't you want what everyone else does? But the thing is, you're not everyone else. You're building a life that aligns with your truth, not their expectations. And that means you'll have to disappoint others sometimes, but you'll never disappoint yourself. The world may not always understand your choices, but it doesn't need to. What matters is that you understand them. Because the most successful people aren't the ones who have the most. They're the ones who live with the deepest sense of purpose. The moment you begin to define success by your own values, everything changes. You start making decisions from a place of confidence, not fear. You begin to value peace over approval. You stop trying to prove your worth and start living your worth. You begin to understand that success isn't measured by how high you climb. It's measured by how grounded you remain while climbing. And when challenges come, you no longer crumble because your foundation isn't built on external validation. It's built on self-belief. That's when you become untouchable. Because when you live from alignment, the world no longer has the power to shake you. So ask yourself, what does success truly mean to of you? Not to your parents, not to society, not to your past self, but to you right now, in this season of your life. Maybe it's freedom, maybe it's balance, maybe it's joy. Whatever it is, chase that. Let that be your compass. Because success is not a destination, it's a rhythm. It's a feeling of being exactly where you're meant to be, doing what you were born to do, without apology or explanation. And once you find that rhythm, you'll realize you were never lost. You were just becoming. So stop chasing someone else's definition of success. Define it. Own it. Live it. Because the woman who dares to build a life that feels true to her isn't just successful. She's free. And there's no power greater than a woman who lives life on her own terms. Somewhere along the way, women, that there's only room for one at the top, that another woman's success somehow threatens your own. We were conditioned to compete, to compare, to measure our worth against someone else's reflection. We scroll through highlight reels and feel like we're behind. But the truth is, her light does not dim yours. The world tries to pit women against each other because it knows what happens when we stand together. We become unstoppable. When women support women, everything changes. Doors open wider, ceilings crack faster, and the future begins to shift in our favor. Because when we lift each other up, we're not just changing one life, we're changing the narrative. There's a unique power in women's connection, a kind of energy that can't be replicated. When women unite, something extraordinary happens. We see each other not as competition, but as reflection. We begin to understand that her win is proof that it's possible for you too. Instead of envy, there's inspiration. Instead of comparison, there's collaboration. It's in that shared space of empathy and strength that real transformation is born. Think about the moments when another woman believed in you before you believed in yourself. How it felt to be seen, encouraged, uplifted. That's what support does. It plants confidence where there was doubt. It fuels courage where there was fear. It reminds you that you're not alone on the journey. You never were. But supporting other women isn't just about cheering them on when they succeed. It's about standing with them when they struggle. It's easy to clap when the spotlight is shining, but true sisterhood is built in the shadows, in the quiet moments, when someone feels invisible, broken, or lost. It's built in the conversations that start with, "I've been there too." It's built in honesty, vulnerability, and love without agenda. Every woman you meet is fighting battles you may never see. Carrying dreams she's scared to speak out loud. Your kindness, your encouragement, your belief, it could be the thing that keeps her going. And in lifting her, you lift yourself. Because strength shared is strength multiplied. Supporting other women also means unlearning the toxic patterns we've been taught, like gossip, judgment, and jealousy. It means choosing respect over rivalry. We've been told that women are too emotional to lead, too sensitive to succeed, too competitive to collaborate. But those are lies designed to divide us. The truth is, when women lead together, we build with heart and purpose. We lead with empathy, not ego. We know that empowering someone else doesn't make us smaller. It expands the collective strength of us all. Every woman who dares to shine creates space for another to step into her own light. The world doesn't need fewer bright women. It needs more of them, standing shoulder to shoulder, unapologetically radiant. And let's be honest, sometimes supporting other women also means confronting our own insecurities. When you see someone succeeding in an area where you're still struggling, it can sting. But instead of letting jealousy take root, let it teach you. Ask yourself, What is this showing me about what I desire? Because envy, when understood, can become inspiration. It can push you to evolve. You can admire another woman's strength and still celebrate your own. You can be proud of her and still pursue your dreams. The beauty of women supporting women is that it creates abundance. There's enough success, love, opportunity, and joy for all of us. We rise higher when we rise together. Imagine a world where women stop tearing each other down and start building each other up. Imagine a generation of girls growing up seeing women collaborate instead of compete, encourage instead of envy, uplift instead of undermine. That world starts with you. It starts with every woman who chooses to celebrate another woman's voice, who shares her light, who uses her power to empower others. Because the truth is, none of us rise alone. Behind every strong woman is a circle of others who whispered, "Keep going, you've got this." And when that circle grows, the world shifts forever. So support her, celebrate her, stand beside her. Because when one woman rises, we all rise. And the woman who understands that another's light only makes the world brighter, she becomes unstoppable. Together, we are not just powerful, we are a revolution. And from the moment we begin to find our voice, the world teaches us to soften it, to speak politely, to shrink our power just enough to keep others comfortable. We're told to smile more, to not be too loud, too opinionated, too ambitious, too emotional. But let me tell you something. Your power is not too much. Your voice is not too loud. Your dreams are not too big. The discomfort people feel when you stand in your strength has nothing to do with your worth. It has everything to do with their limitations. For centuries, women have been told to apologize for existing boldly, to dim their fire. But not anymore. The era of the apologetic woman is over. The world has enough silence. What it needs now is your roar. Being powerful doesn't mean being harsh or hard. It means being unapologetically you. It's standing tall in your truth, even when it shakes the room. It's knowing that kindness and confidence can coexist. That softness does not erase strength. The world has confused humility with invisibility, and it's time to unlearn that lie. Power is not arrogance. It's ownership. It's saying, "This is who I am. This is what I believe. And I will not shrink to fit your comfort zone." Every time you hide your light to make others feel secure, you deny the world the gift of your authenticity. Power doesn't come from how loud you speak. It comes from how deeply you believe in what you're saying. And let's be honest, being powerful as a woman often comes with resistance. The moment you begin to lead, to set boundaries, to demand respect, the labels start flying. She's too aggressive. She's too confident. She thinks she's better than everyone. But don't you dare let those labels define you. They're not reflections of who you are. They're reactions to what you've awakened in others. Some people will try to make your power sound like a flaw because they're uncomfortable with a woman who doesn't need their validation. But your power isn't meant to please. It's meant to inspire. You were never meant to fit in. You were born to stand out. When you stop apologizing for your power, you give others permission to find theirs. Every time you speak up, you create space for another woman to do the same. Every time you walk with confidence, you show a young girl that she doesn't have to apologize for her dreams. The ripple effect of one unapologetic woman is immeasurable. It shifts energy in families, in workplaces, in communities. It redefines what leadership looks like. You don't need to wear a title to be a leader. Your presence, your choices, your courage are leadership in motion. You lead every time you refuse to lower your standards to fit a situation that doesn't deserve you. Owning your power also means understanding that it will evolve. Some days, power looks like speaking on a stage. Other days, it looks like walking away in silence. Sometimes it's standing firm, other times it's surrendering with grace. True strength isn't rigid, it's fluid. It adapts, it learns, it grows. And that's what makes women extraordinary. We are strong enough to be gentle, fierce enough to love, brave enough to be vulnerable. Power isn't about control, it's about authenticity. When you align with your truth, you no longer have to chase respect. It naturally finds you. And when that happens, you become magnetic. Not because you're louder, not because you're trying harder, but because you radiate certainty. People feel it when a woman walks in her power. It's in the way she speaks her mind without apology, the way she loves without fear, the way she stands alone and still feels whole. That kind of woman changes every room she enters. She doesn't beg to be seen. She simply is. And that presence, that energy, that unapologetic truth is something no one can take away. Because once you've tasted your own power, you'll never again settle for silence. So stop apologizing. Stop shrinking. Stop asking for permission to be powerful. You already are. Your voice matters. Your presence matters. You are not too much. You are exactly enough. And the moment you own that truth, the world will rise to meet your fire. Because the woman who stands fully in her power doesn't just change her life, she changes everything around her.